Opinions expressed on AgriTalk do not necessarily reflect the views of Vance Publishing Corporation, affiliate stations, or sponsors. Call toll-free 888-247-4825 to participate in today's program. Now back to AgriTalk and Mike Adams.
Welcome back. It's opening day of the Farm Progress Show in Boone, Iowa, as we broadcast from the Case IH exhibit. We're between showers after having 2 tenths earlier this morning. And as you heard Bryce Anderson say, there'll be some rain off and on probably through noon tomorrow. But right now, and as Matt Youngman told us, they should be able to do field demonstrations unless some more rain comes in right away. So they're very hopeful there. Good opening day crowd so far. Traditionally, tomorrow will be the biggest crowd. We'll see how that plays out. But this is a good opening day crowd here at the Farm Progress Show. By the way, we will have some bonus coverage today and tomorrow. AgriTalk Online, if you want to join us on our website at agritalk.com, we'll have some bonus coverage right after our AgriTalk broadcast, both today and tomorrow. All right, as I said, we're broadcasting from the Case IH exhibit, and joining us now is Leo Bose. He's North American Training Manager. And Leo, you were telling me you've been traveling around the country a little bit, starting to see some harvesting starting up.
Yes, in fact, we were down in Wilmington, Ohio last week, and southern Ohio as well as Indiana is really in full swing of harvest.
And you're from Wisconsin, and you said they're getting close there?
Well, we're really getting close. Guys are doing field scouts right now, and I think they're really wanting to get out there.
Everybody getting that itch. Let's get out there and get going. All right. Let's talk about emission standards, what's required, how Case IH is meeting those standards, and what that means for farmers.
Yes, the emission standards for 2011 is really Tier 4A, which is set by the EPA. And all manufacturers in the agricultural industry have to meet Tier 4A. It's really reduction of 2 components in the combustion process. It's particulate matter and nitrogen oxides. So when you look for Case IH, we've taken the path of over 100 horsepower for SCR, selective catalytic reduction. And what SCR is, we use a second fluid called diesel exhaust fluid that we inject after the combustion process. And what our CDPD process that Nate Weinkoff just talked about is customers told us they wanted increase in fuel economy efficiency. And the SCR technology allows us to do that. And when we take a look at SCR technology, for every gallon of diesel exhaust fluid that we use on the tractor, we're going to save 2 gallons of diesel fuel. So it impacts their bottom line significantly.
Yeah, that's an important point. I was going to ask you, could you meet those standards and not lose fuel efficiency? It sounds like you have.
Yeah, and that's really when our CDPD process was started, is that was the first goal. But then customers always told us that they also wanted the power performance out of that tractor. So a Steiger tractor running at 660 horsepower, really looking for that power performance that's capable of.
Let's break this down a little bit more. You said using diesel exhaust fluid. Now, what is that?
Yeah, diesel exhaust fluid is currently available at our Case IH dealer network as well as over-the-road trucks. Diesel exhaust fluid is about 32% urea, and the remainder is deionized water. So that's injected after the combustion process, and it really cleans up those nitrogen oxides. We tune that engine to create the most power we can, and SCR technology allows us to do that.
Now, will this be on 2011 and forward then?
As we move forward, so for 2011 would be Tier 4A compliant. Now we move into 2014, we have the final Tier 4B. As our products come forward, we're going to meet that final technology from a standpoint of what industry-leading engineers are telling us is that SCR will have to be used to meet that final Tier 4B technology.
So the challenge was to meet these new EPA standards and still provide the power and efficiency that your customers wanted.
Yeah, exactly right. When we look at trying to make that investment now and then push that into the future. So when you really take a look at Fiat Powertrain, which is our new engine lines from a 6.7, an 8.7, and a 12 9-liter engine, they've logged over 20 million miles with SCR technology on the road. In fact, you see the Dodge chassis cab, for example, that's sitting on our lot here today, a 4500 series, is using SCR technology. So 9 out of the 10 over-the-road trucks are using that SCR technology, and I think our customers will see that as the trend goes forward.
Wow. We're talking with Leo Bose, North American Training Manager, talking about how Case IH is using this SCR technology to meet the emission standards required by EPA and still provide the horsepower and fuel economy. You know, we've been talking about this for several years, that fuel efficiency, that fuel economy is so critical for a farmer's bottom line.
Well, when you take a look at an over 100 horsepower and the fuel rates that those over 100 horsepower tractors are burning into that 15 to 18 to 20 gallons per hour, and if you can save at a minimum a 10% fuel efficiency, it impacts their bottom line. One of the questions that producers are asking is how much diesel exhaust fluid would I actually use in the tractor when I burn a gallon of diesel fuel? To give you an idea, it's about a 3 to a 6% usage rate of diesel exhaust fluid to diesel fuel. So 100 gallons of diesel fuel, I'm going to burn about 5 gallons of diesel exhaust fluid.
And what about the temperature? I mean, does it run cooler? Does it run quieter too? I mean, did we see any of those benefits?
The benefits for us is a diesel engine likes to run hot, so we're allowed us to run higher exhaust temperatures, which burns off the particulate matter, creates extra power, but as well as meets the emission standards. So for us, when you get around the FPT engines by Case IH, one, you'll notice that they're very quiet as well. So it allows us to do both.
Well, being able to meet the power needs, the horsepower needs of today's equipment, that's, you have to be able to do that, to be able to provide what a farmer needs with all that they're doing out there, with what they're pulling and what they're trying to get done.
Oh, exactly right. When you look at field cultivators now pushing that 40 to 60 to 70 feet, the planters that are involved, products that they're carrying on board those planters nowadays, those producers are looking for that extra horsepower.
So your engines, Case IH engines, have a proven track record. That's something you can point out to farmers.
Yes, back in 2004 when we launched the 8010 Combine, when we take a look at the 10.3-liter FPT engine that was used in that combine, we brought that forward. And you look at the 7010 Combine, the 8.7 liters, now it's found in your Magnum tractors, as well as the 12.9-liter that was found in the 9120 is now found in that Steiger 550 or up to that 600 horsepower tractor.
All of this, kind of want to go back to what we talked with Nate Weinkauf about. I mean, this is responding not only to the EPA regulations, but also responding to what your customers have told you that they want.
Yeah, our customers are saying, I want to have maximum uptime, and that means being in the field at 12 to 14 hours a day. Benefit of SCR technology allows us to reduce our operating costs, which means we can lengthen out our service intervals for oil drop, for example. So we're into that 600-hour range before you even ever have to touch dropping that oil in the engine. So it's keeping them in the field, maximum uptime, and that's what the customers really wanted.
So again, this will be really ready for everyone's use next year then, right? In 2011?
Yeah, in 2011, in fact, we'll have some tractors running off in fourth quarter here that'll be produced, and our customers will start taking those here in the fourth quarter of this year.
Diesel exhaust fluid.
Diesel exhaust fluid, or better known as DEF.
DEF. Everything has to have an abbreviation, right? So you wanted to say your tractor is DEF, right?
No, our tractor's not DEF. But diesel exhaust fluid, really what we want to make sure is that it's increasing their bottom line from a standpoint of fuel efficiency, and for our producers that are running that 18 to 20 to 22 gallons an hour, when you really break it down, it's putting more money back into their pocket.
Can they talk this fall then with their Case IH dealer about this?
Oh, yes. There will be further information that will be pushed out through the dealer organization, as well as all the information on how we're going to handle the diesel exhaust fluid from a 2.5 gallon tote all the way up to a bulk fill arrangement as well.
These regulations from EPA, they can create challenges, but it looks like out of that challenge has come an opportunity for you.
Yeah, for us, the opportunity is really looking forward. So when we looked at SCR technology, it was really the path forward for us to not only let that engine do what it wants to do, is create power, but allow us to look at the fuel efficiency on the back end as well.
So this will be standard from here on out then, this technology?
Yeah, when we look at this technology, over 100 horsepower tractors will use the SCR technology. And when we look at under 100 horsepower tractors, we'll use exhaust gas recirculation, or EGR. And because of the lower fuel rates that we're consuming with those tractors, really EGR is that solution for us.
So we're talking about more environmentally friendly equipment all the time, too.
Oh, yeah. And when you look at the air that's actually going into the air intake, the exhaust gas that's coming out is almost cleaner than what the air is going in, because really what we're trying to do is get it down to those bare elements of nitrogen and water. Now, we did have to figure out a way to get that nitrogen back into the soil, but that's really what that exhaust gas is really going to be composed of.
This technology, it's really come on here in the last few years.
Yeah, when you really look at the over-road technology, and again, back in 2006 in Europe, we've used SCR technology, over 20 million miles of proven road technology that's using SCR technology.
Kind of taking that over-the-road technology and bringing it to the field.
Yeah, bringing it right to the field. So over 100 horsepower tractors looking at that SCR technology really to increase that fuel efficiency.
Great. Leo, thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
All right, Leo Bose, North American Training Manager for Case IH. So meeting those emission standards that EPA has set and providing you with good horsepower, more horsepower, and better fuel economy while doing so. So it's a win-win. All right, we'll take a break. We are broadcasting from the Case IH exhibit here at the opening day of the Farm Progress Show. As we look outside the tent, good news, it's not raining right now. In fact, the skies have lightened a little bit. Big crowd on hand. When we come back, we're going to talk about Case IH launching the new generation of Steiger tractors. We're going to talk about the big tractors next as we continue from the Farm Progress Show. Stay with us. This is AgriTalk.